We are ready to render some more tallow. I have my beef fat here, which we'll cut open in just a minute. Cutting board, knife, scissors to cut open the bag, and sea salt, and my handy dandy crock pot. We're going to cut this beef fat into very small pieces, just to get the rendering started. I will show you about how small we want. You can see these pieces here. That's about how small you want. So we're going to cut up all of this fat to get it into the crock pot, and we're going to just cover it with water and pour about 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup of salt in with it. About finished cutting up our beef fat, and then we are going to add water and salt to our crock pot. Now that our fat and our water and our salt are in our crock pot, we're going to turn the crock pot on to high for a few hours. And you'll just want to take your spatula and stir it as it starts to melt, and we will pick up from there in a few hours. As you can see, our fat is starting to turn golden, but we still need these chunks to cook more. The way we get that to happen, we like to break it up with our handy stick blender. So grab your stick blender. It makes a mess. Do not raise your stick blender out of the fat while it's still moving. You will regret it. So we're gonna nice and blended, if you will. We're gonna let that sit for another maybe hour on low to make sure all of that fat is good and rendered. This is the second to last step in our rendering process. We're going to strain out the tallow into these metal bowls. I've got 2 large metal bowls. I have this strainer, which I will use to get the biggest chunks of impurities, i.e. beef, the muscle, out of the rendered fat. I have a ladle to use, and you will also need your cheesecloth. There are different kinds of cheesecloth. This is a very tight weave. this will make sure that no impurities get through. So let's begin by taking out as much. I have a trash can right in front of me. So I'm going to move my crock pot closer to the trash can. There's already trash in it. As you can see, I'm going to strain out as much of those impurities as possible before I run it all through the cheesecloth. So stick with me while I do that. Okay, now you want to do time lapse on this. All right, now that that's done, I'm going to move my crock pot over to the side and get my largest bowl ready with the strainer and the cheesecloth. I do have it doubled up for fun. I do need to get a spoon out of the drawer back here to keep that. This just helps keep the strainer in place. There we go. And I'm going to take my ladle and I'm just going to ladle everything and strain it through this cheesecloth. I can usually get most of it without having to change out the cheesecloth, but every once in a while I have to change the cheesecloth. Then once we're done getting all of our rendered fat into our bowls, we're going to stick them in the refrigerator overnight. And so this will be the end of this video in a few minutes, and we will pick up tomorrow with the rest of the process, pulling our tallow cake out of our bowl. And you can see how the impurities settle at the bottom and how we get those scraped off. This came out very, 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 very good. It's beautiful. Not too many impurities, and it should look pretty good tomorrow. And then I will render it a second time, and I have some special things that I do different than others. But when you do this for yourself, the more you do it, you'll come up with your own techniques and tricks to get what you're after, which is pure tallow for lotion, soap, bath bombs, lots of things you can use your rendered tallow for. Thank you to my beautiful videographer for helping me make these videos and edit them. She's doing a great job.
I'm gonna go fast mode now.
Okay. All right, we are done straining our tallow through the cheesecloth, and thankfully we only have just this little bit of beef that did not get strained out the first time. I'm really excited about how this is going to turn out tomorrow. It's not going to be very brown on the bottom at all, but we will see that tomorrow, not today, because this has to refrigerate overnight. I'm going to let this cool on my counter for a little bit, and then we will throw it in the refrigerator, and we will see you tomorrow.